Bandwidth for all shows on the Aussie Tech Heads network is supplied by Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting. For a fast, affordable and reliable Australian server with fantastic support, contact Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting at aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's best hosting service.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Aussie Tech Heads, episode 434, and recorded the 23rd of April 2015. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I can't believe how fast this year is going. It's just April already, and round 8 in the footy. Jeez. We are brought to you each week by athwebhosting.com.au, Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting. Yes, that's right. Web hosting from the gods. So nice little shared service. If you ever want some shared hosting space, come across and have a look at us. I'm sure we will be impressive. athwebhosting.com.au and also scopeiteducation.com.au. Come along and let's have some fun. All right, so thanks again for joining us for another episode. This week we've just got me and Jace. Hey, Jace, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad, Glenn. What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. It's getting a bit chilly, isn't it? I see you. Are you sitting there with you had a jumper on?
T-shirt.
Melbourne, what's going on down there?
Some nights it's free. Actually, in the mornings it's been cold, and the only reason I notice so much is I've just finished 4 nights of night shift. And so you come home and the house is freezing cold because there's obviously no one here to put heaters on or anything. So it's like quick breakfast and then jump into bed and try and sleep it with the electric throw turned on to keep me toasty.
Nice, yeah. It's even up here on the Goldie, it just had a bit of just overnight just changed. I think we're getting like lows overnight of 9s. That's crazy.
I think Sydney got reshaped over the weekend though.
Oh, I think most of the New South Wales hasn't it? It's
been my crazy. Cousins out in the middle of the bush, and they had a giant tree just miss their house. Tech journalist that I know from the internet called Alex Kidman had a tree go into his house a couple of days ago, and he's still waiting to find somebody to do something. He said SES had a look, and they said, whoa, that's a big tree. Yeah, no, we can't do anything about that. You need to get your insurance to look at it, and then they need to pay somebody to come and take it down for you. So he's got a new sunroof in his house that he didn't really want, and places getting washed away. They had video up at Dungog of this guy who was went into the town and into a shop or something, and he was filming the water going down the street, and then suddenly a house across the road went for a swim, and then another house and another one, so 3 of them all swam down the road.
Yeah, that's
pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah,
They said anywhere else in the world it would have been classified as like a tornado or something from the amount of wind and rain and everything, but not here.
No, well, it has been pretty bad. So I hope everyone's staying dry and staying out of all those flooded streets and everything. Oh, geez, it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, a few drowned. Look, don't go after your dog. If dogs can swim pretty well, probably a lot.
Yes. All right. So let's get into some tech news. This is what it's all about, isn't it? It's just we go through the news of the week and see what's coming up or has happened that might interest you. It's interested us, so it might interest you too. Look, the first one this is where I want to start this week. Now, eBay for a little while, eBay and all these online shops, I think they've been a bit of a thorn in the ATO side for a little while. You can stick stuff and sell stuff on eBay, and is there any compliance? Is there any, does the tax office know about all this sort of stuff? Well, perhaps not, but in the future, perhaps yes. The Australian Tax Office has enlisted the help of eBay in its hunt to catch tax cheats. commencing a data matching program with a number of online market operators. eBay will be among a number of web merchants asked to hand over records of thousands of Australians sellers to the tax office. So the ATO said it will audit up to 40,000 account records linked between 15,000 and 20,000 sellers who sold up to $10,000 worth of product to the year ended 30th of June 2014. Look out. They're coming. The tax office is coming. Oh, I know. But that's what the government does. They match all over the place, and I suppose this is...
Not unless you're a multi-billion-dollar company, then don't worry about tax.
Hey?
That's right.
It will data match its own data holdings. It will match the data with its own data holdings to identify sellers not complying with taxation law. The data collected will include sellers' accounts, business and personal names and identification, phone numbers, dates of birth, email addresses, number of annual and monthly sales transaction, and the value and number of annual and monthly sales transaction, amongst other things. Jeez, they're going in hard.
Yep.
They are hard. Look, I got the eBay logo there, right there.
Nice.
So look, just about everything you buy on eBay, you never get a tax invoice, do you? Even if it comes from Australia. So
No.
I suppose I can see why they're getting their knickers in a knot. And also, most of the people that do sell on eBay probably don't need a register for GST, because I think you've got to have a turnover of about 80,000 these days.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, before you can even jump onto the GST bandwagon, or forcefully get put onto the GST bandwagon. But I don't know. That's the way it goes. They match everything. They match they match schools. They match tax declaration forms. Match everything. You can't get away from Big Brother.
No.
No way. All right. So so I hear you ask, what's happened to the other guys this week? I heard that little question in the back of the room.
Hey, Glenn, what's happened to the other guys this week? I was wondering about that.
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'll tell you. Now, Will, what is going on, Will? He still hasn't got is his computer going, but it's just not Skype? So
he said, I was talking to him tonight, and he said the computer works fine 100%. As soon as he installs Skype, he doesn't even have to start Skype. It fiddles around with some driver or something. His computer just starts crashing out. He can just uninstall Skype, and it reverses it, puts it all back to normal. So he's decided to go, Linux Mint.
Oh, and so take Windows off.
Windows is completely gone at the moment. He's installed Linux Mint. He's just working out the video drivers for that, because that can be a bit tricky since there's no commercially available video drivers usually. He's got ATI, so he should be okay, because NVIDIA is always difficult to reverse engineer. But once he's got that, he should be able to get everything else going. Then I think he's going to dual boot into Windows for some things after that, but mostly live in the Linux world from now on.
All right, and I can see, actually, just from talking to for those on video, we're also getting a little, what's that thing saying down the bottom there? Low bandwidth. I think there's Rennie in the chat room. Remember Rennie? He was on not too long ago. He's in the chat room tonight in the lounge, and he's saying that his internet has slowed markedly of an evening thanks to, he's putting it down to Netflix. And now, we've got slow internet as well here, so who knows? Are you on cable down there, or ADSL still?
Me, ADSL too.
All right.
You know what? Cable is in the street that's perpendicular at the end of this one where my ex is. It's got Optus cable. So as soon as I moved into this area, I was like, yeah, cable, okay, ring up Optus. Where's my cable here? It's down the other end of that street. It's not actually on yours. I'm like, dude, you just turn the corner and it's like
so close.
300 meters up this way. No, it's down there.
Oh, that's
I feel like Will, I think he's got the NBN to a couple of 100 meters up the road from his house, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right, poor Will. But Will, Jace was saying just before the show something about the LifeCam drivers. It might be that Microsoft LifeCam drivers playing havoc.
I asked him about that, but he said he got rid of the LifeCam a while ago, sent it back because it never worked. So I'm thinking there's got to be some sort of thing that Skype's doing with camera drivers. Would have to be. But we managed to do a bit of a test the other night with Google Hangouts, and it's still got problems with voice out of sync with the video and stuff like that. But it worked and it didn't crash. So it's definitely Skype is doing something to him. He's got Windows, Microsoft Skype, Microsoft Windows, Microsoft cameras and stuff, and it just,
Doesn't happen.
too much Microsoft. I think it's overloaded the computer.
We might have to have an intervention, Jace.
Yep.
Well, I think
I think so. You're right there.
we'll go up and we'll intervene and we'll see what's going on. But yeah, look, I can sympathise with that. Like I think I've tried a Microsoft camera at some stage and I didn't like it.
My
think,
Logitech's awesome.
Yeah, I'm Logitech all the way. I think I tried Microsoft mouse and keyboard and I didn't like it. Main
I've got
reason.
this little thing. This is lovely. Got ergonomic keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
And Microsoft wireless blue mouse.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Works really well. Keyboards, I don't care about cables because they don't move, but your mouse is moving everywhere all the time.
That's right.
You want to drag the cable over here and over there and they get twisted and stuff. So I'm like, that one has got I'll just bring this one up. It's got a nice little dock there that has a cable on it. You can dock it into to charge overnight.
Oh, now that's good. That's why I got rid of mine. Look, I had a Microsoft mouse a little while ago now. I think it only lasted about 3 months because I kept putting batteries in it. And then
this one I've had for, 5 years or something. And probably after a couple of years, the batteries lose their rechargeability a bit. So you just put in some new rechargeables and away you go again.
Yeah, well, I've got the Logitech mouse now, just a normal sort of thing, and a cordless one and a wired keyboard. But this cordless thing, like batteries last like 2 months at least. So it must have a really good sleep mode or something.
Yeah, they do, yeah. That's why it's good, get the one with the dock and you dock it overnight to recharge.
Now, that is another good idea, yes. I might look into that next time I'm in the market for a mouse.
A moose.
A moose. And Eric is...
I hate Mises to pieces.
Who said that? I hate Mises to pieces. I forget who said that.
One of the cats, not Tom and Jerry, but...
No, it wasn't Sylvester, was it? No. I remember through the show. Now, Eric is...
Pixie and Dixie and Mr. Jinx.
That might have been it. Jeez.
Mr. Jinx was the one who said it.
Yeah, right. That's going back a bit. Remember that cartoon, Great Ape?
Yeah.
How good was that? You don't see that anymore. I'll have to YouTube that.
Our favourite one was Captain Caveman.
Oh, yeah. That was on in the Scooby-Doo.
Dad used to like doing that one all the time.
Was that on in the Scooby-Doo show?
No, he was from the race one where they had the racing cars and it had Penelope Pit Stop and what's his name? And Muttley, the dog that goes...
Oh, yes.
Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Oh, look, I've got a...
Wacky Races.
That's it. Oh, look what I found. I found something. Here you go.
Great babe. Great babe. Just a little bit shy. Great babe.
Biggity biggle.
Yep, that's me.
The great babe.
Great babe.
If he comes to your town.
Great babe.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Great babe.
Any bad guy.
A lot of words to the starting intro there, wasn't there? No wonder I liked it. I was singing it all day. All right. Now, where was I? Eric, he's not in tonight either, in this week either. He's, I don't know, he wrote a little note and said he couldn't make it. And Shane, as last week, hiatus. So we'll catch up with those guys soon. All right. Now, Jace, what's interest you this week?
Alrighty, well, let's start off with the old Netflix because I love it so much and I talk about it every week. So if you haven't got Netflix, why not? There's no excuse anymore, people.
That's right.
Netflix's biggest rival isn't Presto or Stan, it's piracy. And that's why we are paying less than a lot of other countries around the world for access to the service. According to Netflix CFO David Wells, a country's piracy rate is a significant factor when determining the pricing model for the new markets. In Australia, pricing for the service starts at $8.99 a month for a basic package, while when converted to AUD, Netflix starts at $10.25 in the US and $11.50 in the UK. So what you got to complain about, Australia?
Well, sorry, keep going.
Netflix has always been open about how it feels about piracy, acknowledging it's better to offer a service that is better than the pirating option at an affordable price rather than trying to unsuccessfully bring piracy down. Pricing is not the only area Netflix looks to piracy for guidance. Pricing is not the only area Netflix looks to Piracy for guidance. The company also looks at piracy figures to determine what shows to commission for certain countries to give users exactly what they want.
Great.
Beating piracy at its own game. Australia has the highest rates of piracy per capita than anywhere else in the world. So for Netflix, it's a big concern. But Netflix CEO Reed Hastings has told us last month that he believes his service will be the solution. In Canada, lots of people torrented, but since we launched, the rate has dropped dramatically. It's not zero, but it's significantly less. Australians might see a price rise in the future, however, with Optus today suggesting it might begin charging streaming services to ensure quality streams delivered to customers, according to Fairfax Media. Netflix is already taking a big toll on Australian internet bandwidth, with iiNet revealing this morning that the service now accounts for 25% of the ISP's internet traffic, up from 3% before Netflix's official launch.
So
they're going to have the same problem that they do in the US, where the companies are like, well, if you want to watch Netflix in HD or 4K, you're going to have to pay a lot more for your internet now.
yes, yeah, I can see where that's going, but I also can see that it's just they're going to create, they're not going to stamp out the piracy. Because
that's the same with the government going, oh, let's put on a Netflix tax, that way we can make a ton of money and send everybody back to piracy, which is what Netflix is trying to help stop.
To avoid. Yeah, that's right. But look, I don't know what the answer is, and I'm glad I'm not in that line of work, because it would be a headache, wouldn't it? Because
Exactly.
yeah, so it obviously is a headache, because I had a little story here as well, just leading on to that from iiNet. Now, where did that go? Because I thought it would slip in there. Not quite easy. This is the Dallas Buyers Club. So obviously we've heard about this. It's been around for quite a little while now, with the High Court and everything. But in this week's directional hearing, counsel for the Dallas Buyers Club argued for iiNet to hand over the customer details before the May the 6th. So that's 2 days after World National Star Wars Day. Before any draft letter had been submitted. So the Dallas Buyers Club lawyers said the rights holder would submit a draft template for the communication it proposed to send to alleged copyright infringers before the 6th of May. Justice Param said the Dallas Buyers Club should be required to pay a $275,000 security for costs before iiNet and the other ISPs hand over the user details, because otherwise the company might just go to the airport. What do you think? What do you think the judge was meaning there? So he said the Dallas Buyers Club, hand over your $275,000 because we think you're going to skip out.
Guess so.
Well, I guess, but they've already won the. I don't know. I don't get it, and that's a bit crazy. But anyway, that's what's going on. So, look, if you've downloaded that Dallas Buyers Club, geez, wouldn't you be a bit scared, a bit worried?
I know, right? I stopped that kind of torrenting stuff years ago.
Yeah. Yes. Just move to the next stage.
Netflix,
that's right.
Pay for it.
I know. Look, I've been waiting to see.
If you don't pay for it, you'll end up paying for it.
Yes. And if you don't pay for it, shows aren't going to get made. I looked at. I'm waiting for that American Sniper to come out.
Oh, is that a good one?
Have you seen it?
No, haven't heard of it.
Oh, everyone's telling me it's the best. Yeah. Surprised you haven't heard of it.
No.
Yeah, it's about some Marine or whatever he is, and he's a sniper over in Iraq, and I suppose his day-to-day challenges that he faces and conundrums and all this. But yeah, look, I looked up on the Apple TV, and it's it's not there yet. And I looked up on the T-Box, not there yet. And yes, I don't know. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. It's not on Foxtel. I'm just waiting. And not going.
Somebody will buy it and make an exclusive, and then screw everybody else over. Don't worry.
Yeah, someone will pirate it soon enough. Then it'll be all over the show. All right. My turn, I suppose. Let's go. Oh, look, Apple Watch. How can we forget the Apple Watch? Poor little Apple Watch. It's coming out. I think it's the delivery's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, which is Friday the 24th. So,
not even our big Apple fanboy is going to get one. That says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, look, he may change his mind, Eric. He may change his mind, but I'm probably at this stage
I didn't say any names.
No, well, I know the guys on the Aussie Mac Zone are all bought and paid for. So that's good. The Jace and Garth. Oh, how good was it here,
You
Garth?
mean the
back?
people are bought and paid for to give good reviews, or you're saying they've bought and paid for their watch?
Bought and paid for their watch.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think Apple does that, do they? So, all the boys on the Aussie Mac Zone have got ordered their watches. They should all be getting theirs tomorrow. Lucky little things. So, according to the latest estimates, pre-orders for the Apple Watch have surpassed 2.3 million. I don't know. Is that a big number? Don't know.
Sounds like a good start, anyway.
Well, it's a good start, but 2.3 million. There's how many million in the US? 300 or something.
Yeah.
So-
See, my problem is because it's locked to Apple. I'm Android, so no good. The good thing about the Pebbles, you can use it on anything.
Yeah, but I just thought it's just not, for me, it just doesn't do enough yet. I was hoping it would come out with more, maybe, I don't know, the heartbeat monitor or something, and just a
Oh,
few...
you get one for you and one for your wife, and then you can draw little pictures on there and send her a little love heart or I love you, honey, or what are you wearing right now? Or,
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
and you can send your heartbeat to hers.
Oh, and you could...
So it's got sensors on there and it detects the pulse in your arm and her watch starts vibrating at the same beats as your heart is going. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, yes. So you could sync your heartbeats and beat in unison. How extraordinarily romantic. Evernote is bringing its note-taking and archiving platform to the Apple Watch. With the app, users will be able to dictate a note, view recent notes, set reminders, and check items off a to-do list. Yippee. That'd be good, but how small is this? This is the problem. How small is the writing? Microsoft on the Apple Watch, PowerPoint helper. Microsoft Office makes it to the Apple Watch with a handy feature that turns the watch into a navigation tool for PowerPoint presentations. Yippee! with the PowerPoint app for the Apple Watch, Microsoft wrote in its iOS app descriptions, users can start a slideshow and easily navigate to the next or previous slides, as well as, at a glance, see the elapsed time, the current slide number, and total number of slides. Wow. Invoice to Go, wristwatch-friendly app that helps keep tabs on time. With Invoice to Go, Apple Watch app users not only keep tabs on when they arrive and depart from a job site, but can send invoices and receive alerts when invoices have been paid. Yippee! I get it, eh? And Uber, maybe Uber is making it to the Apple Watch. With the Uber app, the company has said users will be able to request a car, track its arrival on a map, and display a photo of the driver. And do it all on the phone.
And stop ringing me because I don't have a cab for you.
You still getting those?
Constantly.
You should just.
They even come onto the website and do it from a live chat. And they come from India, Indonesia, China, England, Spain.
Should just say,
Hi, I want the cab, please.
hang tight. We'll be there. We've got a car in your area. We'll be there in 10 minutes. Hang tight. And see
Give us your credit card number first.
Yes, yeah. So that's what's going on there with the Apple Watch. Look, I had all these photos ready to go, and then my little app crashed, and I can't show them on the screen tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. So I've got to show them as part of my show notes. So apologies for that. They should be nice images. I spent a lot of time today, and this is what I get: problems. Anyway. That's just not worth spending the time. There's always problems. Now, look, keeping with the Apple theme for now, from a positive story, an exciting story to maybe not such an exciting story, the Apple Pro staingate. Have you heard of the staingate, Jace?
Dun, dun, dun. No.
Haven't heard of staingate? Well, it's a site. It's called staingate.org. So
Everything's a gate.
Oh,
Come on,
I
come
know.
up with something new, people.
So staingate.org. One user reported on Apple support forums weird stains appearing on the MacBook Pro with Retina display screen. From there, it snowballed into a 42...
Yeah, stains and snowballs. I tell you what websites to keep off, people.
Make sure you got your antivirus up to date.
Exactly.
He snowballed into a 42-page thread with over 600 replies. More and more users have come forward about their MacBook display, Retina or otherwise, receiving similar perplexing stains. Now, users have determined the issue to be a result of the anti-reflective coating applied to MacBook Pro screens, stripping itself away. Some have postulated its cause as acidic excretions from the skin.
This is getting worse.
Maybe
Why don't
you
they
were
call
right.
it Monica Lewinsky Gate? Come on.
Yes, it's maybe you were right, but some have postulated its cause as acidic excretions from the skin contaminating the keyboard and MacBook chassis. Their reasoning: a large amount of the stains appear to be in the middle or upper edges of the display in a
There you go.
putter.
Now you can purchase Apple gloves.
Oh, you're kidding.
Wouldn't that be a market?
Yeah,
Apple gloves to
yes.
prevent the stains, right? If it's coming because your hands are touching it. If you don't touch it, it's not the product's fault. If you touch it and suddenly it gets stained, so wear gloves.
That's right. It could be the way out. But
Practice safe typing.
But some of the images that I've seen, now you probably can't see those images, Jace, but some of the images that are coming, you can see like a scratched pattern of the keyboard on the screen. And it'd be pretty disturbing if you've actually had that happen to you. Apple's stance on the matter certainly hasn't been that supportive, with staingate.org stating Apple won't cover the cost of replacement due to it being cosmetic damage, which is not covered by the warranty. So there you go.
Yeah.
So I wonder how many people. Apparently, there's only like the figures reported on this site are only like 1,700 people have reported the problem. So it's not like a massive problem. I think that when there was a problem recently before with the Apples, the laptops.
You're still holding it wrong.
Yes, that's right. That's with the iPhone 4, wasn't it? And the antenna gate.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was antenna gate.
They got a lot of gates over there, haven't they? Bill's another one. All right. Okay. Well, let me tell you about our Facebook page. Now, if you've been looking at it lately, you'll see a couple of posts every now and then from free apps of the day, free iOS apps of the day anyway. And Jace puts up the Android apps when there's one that's suitable.
Worthwhile, yep.
That's right. Some days, like we've been doing it now for, I don't know, it must be a year at least. And so obviously, things start to, there's only so many apps that are around. Yeah, that's right. Out of a billion apps, things start to recur. And so anyway, they're free apps of the day. So normally you have to pay for them. And some of them I've seen can be up to like $10, $15. And but on the day that they appear, that they're free. So you jump in, even if you're not going to use it, you just jump in, download, you never know when you're going to use it, do you? So you can do that. So it's facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads, and go and have some fun there. And also the AussieTechRadio.com. So if you want to go there, AussieTechRadio.com, or through your Shoutcast player or TuneIn Radio, just search for Aussie Tech Heads and you will find our radio station, more or less. And it's a 24/7 tech shows from Australia and New Zealand. You got shows like Ozdroid, Two Blokes Talking Tech, the Tech Webcast. There's Geeksphere. There's a heap of others. They just keep rotating. And new shows every
Couple
Friday.
old farts.
Oh, yes. Jace, take it away. Two old farts talking tech? Something like that.
Old fart geeks. And Obsidian Loft Minecraft.
That's right. And those two podcasts come out when Skype's working for Will.
Yes, that's right. We would have had one this week for the old farts, but once he's all up and going, we'll do another one of those.
You might have to. Is there any reason why you've gone to Skype and moved to? Because you were doing Hangouts. Is there no good?
We haven't done Hangouts. Has never worked very well because the audio and video are always out of sync when you're recording it. So
that's gay.
We did use that Zoom one, the same as we were using with you for a while, but it turned out to be bad. I think we've all tried, maybe half a dozen, and Skype's the best of the worst bunch, I guess you could say.
It's funny how you sort of just you keep going back to past loves,
Yeah.
Like you should go back to, like, I remember, it might be time when Skype starts playing up too much for me, I might go back to Uvu or something, There's just heaps of them out there. And you just got to find one that will continue to work for you. But Skype's been pretty good of late. I know I turned the...
Who said that? You're looking a bit blue to me. Are you part of the Blue Man Group?
Yeah, I could be. But look, I turned Skype on the other night to do the Aussie Mac Zone, and lo and behold, an ad slid in from the side of our group chat. And it took up the whole side of the Skype. And I went, that's no good. But luckily, Michael was on the ball, and you just got to block apps.skype.com in the restricted internet sites in the Internet Explorer, and those ads just go away. So that's easy. That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a story coming up later about AdBlock, and they've just been in court as well. People don't like them either. Publishers don't like them. I'll tell you that story soon. But look, while we're here, just having a bit of a chat, let me tell you about the IT. No, it's not. It's the Scope What is it? Scope IT Education.
There we go.
There we go. .com.au. Now, you've heard me talk about it before, and it's a great if you want to get into, if you're thinking about how do I make some money, and you're thinking along those lines, and you're looking for a franchise to jump into, these guys, worthwhile checking it out. Do your due diligence, check them out, and see if it fits a good fit for you. But kids today are engrossed with technology, often spending excessive hours behind the screens. The guys at Scope IT Education aim to not fight this war. They instead aim to change those hours into productive hours. They turn consumers into creators. Scope IT Education is a teaching organisation that provides curriculum-based technology training to primary age students. Predominantly, lessons are done within the school system and refined professionally developed courses that align with and complement current state and national-based outcomes. The course range is vast, with classes in introductory coding skills, with process-based logical thinking, app development, website design, digital citizenship, Google research, and now even 3D printing, electronics, and robotics. Whew. Of course, all these courses are fun, and of course they're engaging. They carefully combine this with specific outcomes to help shape our children's education for the future, arming them with the technology skills they will need in the world they grow up in tomorrow. If you think this sounds interesting and have franchise business opportunities for anyone feeling that this product sounds intriguing, or if you would like to know more information as a teacher or principal, check out the website at scopeiteducation.com.au, and it is well worth a look. And if you've got your kids at school and you think that's a great idea, and the school's not doing anything tech driven or tech wise, drop them an email. Say, hey, how about we, can we get someone in here to teach us this? And take it from there. Easy, good stuff. Okay, Jace, what else have you got for us tonight, please?
Well, about 100 people from various technology startups braved Sydney's wild weather yesterday to hear firsthand from the man who hopes to get a second tilt as Treasurer. Opposition Treasury spokesman Chris Bowen took the stage to loud applause with his eyes locked clearly on the prize, telling attendees he hoped to implement policies to boost entrepreneurship when in government. Where we tend and hope to be in less than 18 months' time, Mr. Bowen's main objective was to provide assurances to the startup community that they had full backing of Labor's top echelon, including leader Bill Shorten. We want to see Labor and the startup community as natural partners. We all believe in growth, jobs, and doing things in new and better ways. For Bill and Tanya Plibersek, it's a big focus for us, he said. Mr. Bowen said at the offices of startup incubator Blue Chili. Earlier, Parliamentary Secretary Opposition Treasury spokesman Ed Husick said Deputy Leader Leader Tanya Plibersek was keen to be involved and would attend future startup events. Federal Labor's involvement mirrors the aggressive approach taken by senior members of the bad government independent MP Alex Greenwich, who are familiar faces of the New South Wales startup scene. So I think that's great. Get the startup scene a bit of a boost, because it's been dying a lot in Australia, and we need more investment in technology.
Well, the startup groups, there's a few that I've seen around that are active, and it's they sort of fund themselves with a bit of commercial backing, but they probably need a bit more of a direction and a bit more hope at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, and just something that just keeps it rocking on, rolling over. Because there's I'm not sure what there's one up here. I think it's something to do like Silicon Lakes or something, and they organise startup events. There's been startup events at the Gold Coast place up here. Yep. What's that place called? Where that Comic-Con was, the convention centre. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's little meetups here and there and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, that'd be good. That's a good idea. So let's hope that turns out. Now, talking about that new sort of tech, Office 365, not that new, Azure and AWS have become the first cloud services on a new Australian government certification list. The Certified Cloud Services list was published this week and includes Office 365, Azure, AWS, EBS, EC2, S3 and VPC. Now, the certification is awarded by the Australian Signals Directorate and means that cloud services are certified for handling unclassified dissemination limiting markers, data. So that's probably good. I think AWS, Amazon, they got their little data center in Sydney, and Microsoft, they got a little data center somewhere, probably Sydney. And just with the privacy law, I suppose they've got to get certified, so the data stays in Australia, I guess, so it's not replicated around the world and in the hands of possible foreign governments. That's what that's all about, isn't it? All right. Now, here's one. Here's a good one. Now, for those that use bank with NAB and maybe do your accounting with Xero, the online accounting package, which I'll tell you must be a heap better than. It's got to be better than MyOb or QuickBooks, hasn't it? I am so off those two.
Had enough.
Look, I'm just off. Look, I know they got more products out now, but I bought them a couple of years ago now, and just the way they want to treat you know what I mean? Like, so I had a problem. My brother, he's got a little shop and he's got the retail manager through MyOb. Like, cost $2,000. All right, like $2,000. Yeah. And so one day he turns his computer on and his little docket printer stops working. But it will print from the Windows. It'll do a test print from Windows. It won't print from the software. But you can't talk to these people because they answer the phone. They go, well, give us $500 and we'll talk to you. I mean,
No.
like it's just this, and that's been since pretty much day one. They just do not want to talk to you about. They just want you to either buy an updated product or spend money on their care. And like I've got problems with the way that it sends emails. This is the MyOb accounting thing. It sort of butts heads with Outlook, and I rang him up when I was under some care, when I was under the wing, and they couldn't help you. They said, that's a problem with Outlook. Well, I think Outlook was around before you guys, so how about you program properly or what about an update or a patch? Well, you could buy the new version, $600. Huh? Yeah, I hate them. I don't like them at all. I will never, ever, MyOb or QuickBooks, I'll never, ever go there again. But anyway, Xero. The Xero, that's online accounting, which obviously is going to be better. You can one database in the cloud. I think you can start hooking in your iPad with as a POS terminal. One database, stock, everything. It's all in one. Anyway, that's beside the point. The National Australia Bank will allow Xero to connect with its API for the first time, meaning Xero users can connect their bank accounts online without waiting for the bank to complete the process. The feature could help Xero users avoid waiting up to 10 days to have bank feeds connected. Now, according to Xero, NAB users will be able to access this feature via NAB Internet Banking from May. Xero users will be able to reconcile their invoices, understand tax obligations, and track cash flow in real time with NAB feeds refreshed daily. While other banks offer integrated bank feeds, NAB is the first Australian bank with core API technology linked to Xero's accounting cloud ecosystem. So that sounds pretty good. I think if you had a lot of transactions going on, in and out, and you had to keep reconcile quite regularly, I don't know, that'd help you, wouldn't it?
It's a go, yep.
That's the go. Yeah, you do any reconciliation at work, or you just on the help desk?
No, mostly help.
Nice. All right. Anything else that you got down there, Jace?
Yeah, well, everybody used.
Egg is a good place, isn't it?
Yeah, very popular.
Yeah, it's. I've watched a lot of when I was, looking up some motherboards and all that sort of stuff. I went to watch some video reviews, and geez, they must review just about everything.
Yeah.
Oh, just about every single product is there. That's mind blowing. Microsoft. Microsoft story. Guess what they're doing? They're going to open a store. The new store will be located in Westfield, Sydney, in the City Pitt Street Mall, likely less than 100 metres from the Apple George Street store. The opening date hasn't been announced yet, though Microsoft stated that they would open by the end of the year. Now, it will be the first flagship store outside of the USA, although Microsoft has more than 110 other physical stores, just not labelled flagship stores. So...
They might have the signature PCs that don't have any crapware or anything on them.
Well, not just clean Windows and that's it.
That's it, yep, because a lot of the ones you get from HP and things include, add-on test trial versions of McAfee or Norton's that go for 30 days and all that sort of rubbish. Just fills up your hard drive just so they can sell it a bit cheaper because they get bonuses from them. But the signature PCs are just Microsoft Windows only, completely optimized to run for whatever type of thing you want, such as games and things. But something that I had heard mentioned a lot is that the Microsoft stores in the US always open either directly across or around the corner from the Apple stores. No coincidence.
Oh, yeah. Why do they seem... I suppose, maybe. Who knows? Who cares? But anyway, that's what they're doing. Microsoft hopes to attract small business owners to the store as well as consumers. The store will host community events, offer training workshops, and support science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education, stated Microsoft. So there you go. Let's have a look at their store again. There it is. Looks like an Apple store, but just with Microsoft stuff in it.
So does the Samsung ones.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's the... Why are they going to waste 100 million on marketing when Apple's already done it? Might as well,
Someone else has already done all the research and everything.
Right.
So.
Well, when you're going to build a web page, you go and look for something similar, don't you? You go, oh, yeah, I like that one. I'll build it something similar to that.
That's it.
Excellent. Now, AdBlock. Do you use AdBlock or an AdBlock?
Love it.
You do?
AdBlock
You love
Plus. It? Best thing ever.
Well, they've been in Germany. They've been in the court because the certain publishers, this looks like, I don't have the name here, but anyway, publishers don't like it. The creator of the software that stops adverts from appearing on websites has defeated 2 news publishers that wanted to prevent its tech being used on their pages. So the owners of Germany, Die Zeit and Hanselblatt, had claimed that AdBlock Plus's product was anti-competitive and threatened their ability to make money. But a high court in Hamburg ruled that users do have the right to use the plugin. Well, I'm with them. Why wouldn't you have a right to do whatever you wanted on your own computer?
That's right, yeah.
I think...
And support the guy who did it. You see, when you install AdBlock Plus, he said, I quit my job just to concentrate on making AdBlock better, so I appreciate a couple of donations, please.
Oh, right. So do you think he's making a living out of it?
He must be making enough, yeah, but I wouldn't say he's, cashing it in or anything, but he'd probably make just enough to be able to survive without another job.
But can you see in any way why you, as a publisher, how you could be upset? Well, I know you'd be upset about it, but I mean,
the way
that
they make money is either you put up a paywall and charge people to go in, or you make it free and put a ton of ads up there, so...
Yeah, but if it's on your computer, you should have the right to do whatever you want. You could put you could put a bit of cardboard down the side of your screen if you didn't want to see the ads. Like, you're able to do this, sure. I just don't understand the idea behind it. I suppose they had to test it in court, see what would happen. But anyway, I'm glad it's been defeated. That's just a nonsense sort of a suit, isn't it? Right? I believe that's just nonsense.
You should be able to install whatever plugin you want, even one that turns all pictures on the internet of Tony Abbott into cat pictures.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
But I think you've just got to realise that web pages, although the content on them could be copyrighted, but essentially they're public. It's a public thing, so you do what you want with them. Like with a newspaper, if you don't want to read the ads, well, you don't go to that page or whatever.
No,
so
you're
blocking the ads. You're manually blocking the ads by Oh, whatever. But anyway, I couldn't.
The problem with newspapers and that is the ads are sold based on potential viewers because nobody ever can have any way of guaranteeing how many people are actually going to read anything. So they always base it on potentially who might watch it.
That's right. All right, so let's go. Oh, look at this one here. We've got a. Oh, do I do that one now? I'll wait till I'll leave that one. It's a funny one till the end.
Yep.
We've got a another story from overseas here, but FM radio switch off in Norway. The government has announced this is in Norway. Okay, don't get too excited. It's not in Australia. The government has announced there are currently 22 national digital radio stations broadcasting, and there is space on the digital platform for a further 20. There are only 5 national outlets broadcasting on FM. It said the Norwegian Ministry of Culture estimates that digitising national radio output would result in savings of 200 million krone, or which equates to about 25 million a year. The cost of transmitting national radio channels through the FM network is 8 times higher than with the DAB network, it said. This is partly because the DAB transmitters are more power efficient. So over in Sweden, National Auditor Margareta Berg has advised the Swedish Ministry of Culture to retain the FM network. So I didn't think FM channels are in the firing line, but they
Guess they must be.
They must be, yeah. Well,
Everybody moved from AM years ago. Now it's go.
Yeah, but we still got. Have you got AM channels in Melbourne?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Who listens to the radio much? I always have just the old Goldies one that's called Gold FM here, and it just has the 70s and 80s kind of music.
Yeah, there's a couple of AM ones up here. I think we've still got 612 ABC.
Maybe it's John Laws.
Oh no, he's moved on. He's moved to FM.
Doesn't his voice sound better on AM radio?
No, FM you got it in 2 ears. Stereo.
No.
Stereo Lawsy. Yeah, look, there's a station I don't mind. It's got a couple of those oldie goldie songs on it, and it was on AM, and it sounded poxy, so I thought, let me see if there's an FM, like, retransmission or FM, whatever you want to call it, retransmission of it, but there wasn't. And I thought,
It should all just be internet radio now, and, when I'm in the office doing these overnight shifts, it's so quiet and not too much to do, so I just go to iHeartRadio and stream my local station there.
Yeah. Well,
What do you need Ben waves for? There's tons of 4G and 3G all about.
Yeah, that's right. So FM, it must be a dying thing as well. So once it kicks off somewhere, I'm sure the governments around the world are going to go, ooh.
They should go to satellite radio like they did in the US.
But you'd get the DAB in Melbourne?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
As I said, I just listen to one station and my car's only got AM, FM radio, so...
Yeah, fair enough. That's the way of the world.
I'm not going to pay $100 for another radio just to listen to occasionally in the car. When I'm at home, I don't listen to any radio, so...
No. I know when I bought my car radio, I was spewing. I couldn't buy one without a CD player because I didn't want to, I thought, if I could find one without it, I must save $50, but couldn't buy it.
No, mine's got CD player, radio in it, but the problem is because it's a molded radio that fits into that particular dash, you can't take it out and just plug in another one. If you want to upgrade, you have to replace the whole center bit, and they've got a faceplate that you can buy that'll put standard radios in.
Right.
This one is molded into the dash.
Oh, yeah. Yuck. How thoughtless of them.
Yep. It doesn't have any auxiliary inputs, anything either, so you can't just plug in your iPod or something.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
Or a USB.
Yeah, I bought a new one for my car, and it's Bluetooth, so it just goes off the phone, so it's great. Love it. What else you got, Jace? Anything else?
Well, did you know Google is now a mobile carrier with the announcements of its new Project Fi service? Available exclusively to owners of Google's Nexus 6 phone, Project Fi is a radical departure from the kind of wireless plans offered by leading carriers like AT&T and Verizon. Unlike a standard plan which charges you a flat rate for a set amount of data, even if you don't use all of it, Google's plan will charge you only for the data you use and pay back for any that you don't use. Say, for example, you purchase a 2 gig monthly plan for $20. If you only use 1.6 gig of the data, Google will reimburse you $4. Use only 0.4 of the data and you'll get $16 back. In addition to data, Project Fi provides unlimited talk and text, unlimited international text and coverage in more than 120 countries. That base level of service costs $20 a month, and you can add the data plan for 10 gig per month after that. And unlike most wireless plans, it charges the same amount for data overseas as it does in the US. Google will also let you use your phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot at no extra charge.
Nice.
Beyond offering a new way to pay for your data, Project Fi has a unique way of connecting you to the web. Rather than using a single carrier network, Project Fi uses two, Sprint and T-Mobile. So if you're riding the bus on your way to work and your 4G LTE connection with Sprint starts to slow down and there's a faster T-Mobile signal available, Project Fi will automatically switch you over to T-Mobile's network to ensure you always have the best possible connection.
Wow.
If your Sprint and T-Mobile connections are both running slow, Project Fi will move you over to one of more than 1 million free open Wi-Fi hotspots to get your data. And while you're connected to the hotspots, Project Fi automatically encrypts your information to ensure it remains private.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's going off, isn't it?
I know, right? I would
Yeah.
love that. You know, you have just join onto one thing. It works on Telstra, Optus, Vodafone, whoever's network happens to give you the best signal.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have any of those, it'll go to an open Wi-Fi hotspot, which Telstra has put in tons of them, which are unfortunately not encrypted at this stage. So be careful if you go onto one of those hotspots because anyone can steal your data and read your webmail and your email and your passwords and everything like Google accidentally did when they drove around their big trucks. So encrypted VPN if you're going to use open Wi-Fi's, people.
Yes, exactly. Now I've got a picture to show you. Now I know everyone's going to like this who are listening.
Me too.
Oh yes, you too. But anyway, look, I'll tell you what it's all about. There's a man. He's played Candy Crush all day for 6 to 8 weeks.
Jeez.
He's
So
29.
he hasn't got a job, right?
No, hasn't got a life either. He's 29 years old. Like, what's he doing? Serious? Now, a report in the JAMA, International Medicine, Internal Medicine, JAMA.
Hey, Jama man.
Oh, JAMA Madeka, no. Now, he is, so he's torn his tendon in his thumb playing Candy Crush for 6 weeks.
So he should be suing King, right? That's what people do these days.
Now, the report...
I made myself fat, so it's McDonald's fault. I injured my thumb, so I was reading recently somewhere where there was actual suit against, I think it was Nintendo, because people were getting, tendonitis and sprained hands with RSI and stuff
God.
from playing Nintendo games years ago, and they had to pay like $10,000 out.
What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
A report...
It's your fault I played this game too much. If you didn't make that thing that I was having fun with, I wouldn't have played it so much.
A report in this Internal Medicine magazine, or whatever it is, describes how a right-handed man told doctors he was experiencing chronic pain in his left thumb and couldn't move it properly after playing Candy Crush on his smartphone. After being examined by experts, it emerged that this guy from California had ruptured a tendon in his thumb and would require surgery. Fair dinkum. Are they serious? So he's played it for he's played all day for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
So what is all day? Is that like just 8 hours a day? Or is that
It's
like...
not that great of a game, people.
I've never played it. Maybe
I played it for a while. I went to level 40 or something and then got a new device and went through to level 20 again just because I'm bored on the train and want something mindless to do while I'm sitting there. But that was the only reason I did it, not because I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's just...
Because I usually listen to podcasts and I don't want to have something where you have to concentrate and think about the game. You just want something, like Bejeweled or something where you just swap things around while you're listening to either music or your podcast, and you don't want to concentrate on the thing. You don't want to be staring at the person that you're forced to sit opposite in the train because you're squashed between two people and there's this other person across there and you're like, okay, I can either pretend I'm asleep all the way home or I can play something here, but I want to listen to something interesting at the same time. So
Yeah, fair
that's
enough.
what I think that's where these kind of games make their most money, from those kind of people like me. But
Yeah.
I haven't paid the money for it. I just
No.
sit there. Oh, you've run out of moves. Okay, I'll play it again then in an hour or tomorrow or something. I don't care.
I see there's a few games now getting advertised like on the major networks.
Yep.
It's not Game of Thrones, it's something of Thrones. Something like that. I can't remember what it is.
Jeez.
I'm not in the but yeah, so it's all happening. Any more, Jace?
Yeah, a couple more there. The Obama administration hopes Silicon Valley technologists can think of a system with strong encryption that could be pierced legally by one party without opening the door to others. This is a very bad road to go down, people. White House Cybersecurity Policy Coordinator Michael Daniels said at the annual RSA conference on security on Tuesday that he's trying to set starting principles for a broad public discussion on the issue, which has been a major source of tension with technology companies and other cyber experts. A panel of experts convened by the administration following leaks by former US intelligence agency contractor Edward Snowden called on the government to promote strong encryption and stop trying to subvert it by surreptitious means, arguing that the US companies would bring in less revenue overseas if privacy protections were suspect. But the White House is yet to adopt that stand, and the senior intelligence officials, including FBI Director James Comey, have faulted Apple and Google for ramping up encryption post-Snowden. In a meeting with a handful of reporters, Daniel was asked whether or not he could name a respected technology figure who believed it possible and have strong encryption that could be circumvented by just one party's legal authority. I don't know any off the top of my head, he said, but added that if any place could come up with an answer, it would be enormously creative Silicon Valley. If you put a hole in something, then everybody can go through it.
Yeah.
It's like, lock down every door and window in your house except for the back door, just in case the police have to come in and rescue you for some time. Well, it also lets everybody else in. The encryption, that's a basic description of how it would work with encryption. If one person can get in there, anyone can get in there.
Yeah. Once it's open, it's open. You can't read.
As they said, people from other countries, if they go, oh yes, why don't we go and buy this really good technology from America that only Americans can read stuff on there that we want to be private, but we'll let America read our private stuff. No. They're not going to buy it.
No. All right. Look, this might be my last one of the week.
Yep.
How many more you got, Jace? Couple? Did you have
just
any more?
that funny one that I mentioned about Tinder?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do my funny one first, and we can end on your funny one.
End on a high note.
Yes. Now, Manchester Council got the same problem as Surfers Paradise. Apparently, in Surfers Paradise, the place smells like urine. Because people go putting it about and just urinating wherever they feel like it. So yeah, the place stinks. So what they've done in Surfers, they bought in. I don't know if you saw it on the news. It was a
pop-up urinal.
Yeah, a bit of a joke. Yeah, the pop-up urinals where it was just like the guys walked into them and it was just like a bit of a coverage just around the bottom area. So you could see your chest, your head, and the bottom.
You're not going to see too many girls squatting in the corner. It's going to be guys, right?
It was built for guys. It wasn't built for girls. Yep. Anyway, that was all to try and get the drunks to pee into the toilet rather than just pee onto windows and all this sort of stuff. But anyway, obviously,
but if you're going to pee on something, it must be Windows instead of Mac OS, right?
Well, yeah, and in Surface. So, but anyway, it looks like Manchester and a few other places might have a similar problem because the Manchester Council considers plan for an anti-wee paint. Manchester City Council, look, I did have a little graphic here for someone that wants to have a look at the graphic.
Oh, that's that thing you were showing before accidentally.
Yes, that's right. And I don't know where I can't show it now. Something's happened. Oh, here it is.
I just thought you had some weird fantasy going on there, but anyway.
Oh, yes, an insight into my private life, yes. Now, it's called Ultra Everdry. The maker claims it will completely repel almost any liquid. The paint was introduced in several public areas in Hamburg's red light district earlier this year. So what happens is if you pee on it, it bounces straight back at you. So there you go. I don't know how that's going to work, and I don't know. But apparently, instead of it, whatever. Instead
it's
of it
aquaphobic.
Instead of it just running down the window, apparently it's going to bounce right back at you, like
They'll teach you a lesson.
Like peeing into a southerly. You get it right back. All right, what's your little one, Jace?
Well, a bit of an embarrassing one. A long-lost brother and sister have been reunited after finding each other in an app. Ooh. This would be a heartwarming story if the app wasn't Tinder. and if the siblings hadn't spent time flirting before making the realisation. Eric de Vries and Josephine Egberts were separated after their parents split up in 1999. Following the messy breakup, de Vries moved in with his father and twin brother to Belgium, leaving his little sister and mother in the Dutch city of Breda. As the years passed, the siblings lost touch and did not know of each other's whereabouts. When de Vries moved back to the Netherlands to study, the 24-year-old joined Tinder in the hope of meeting a member of the fairer sex. While using the dating app, he unknowingly swiped right on the profile of his sister. The first time I swiped her profile, I had absolutely no idea, he said. To be honest, it hasn't been on my mind in the past few years after Martin, my brother, and I finished a failed search for Josephine. After receiving a match, de Vries began putting the moves on the girl. In the first conversation, I was actually flirting with her, so the conversation was very superficial. After a few conversations, details started emerging that made him suspicious of his new match. I began to wonder myself, it can't be that I just had a Tinder match with my sister. Fearing the worst, he backed off and did not contact the girl for a few days, but then curiosity got the better of him. In the hope of discovering the truth, he got her to divulge stories about her past. With too many matching details, he soon came to realise that he was talking to his sister. After sharing his discovery, the two planned to meet in a cafe in Tilburg. When I saw him, it was suddenly clear, she said. It was so special to see my own blood brother again. The siblings' other brother, Martin, was also pleased with the bizarre turn of events.
Wow.
Eric and I obviously knew for years that we had a little sister. You obviously don't think about her every day, but a few years ago we did undertake a vain quest to find her. It's too crazy for words to come into contact with each other again like this, but it also makes it very special. I'm very happy that I can still get to know my sister. The siblings plan on seeing much more of each other in future, just in a more conventional sense.
Oh, yeah, very good. Oh, it's a Tinder miracle. That's
It is, yep.
It's one of the only good news stories I've heard about Tinder.
Save the family. Yay,
Yeah.
Tinder. I did see something interesting. Somebody had posted that there's a new app come out. It's something like Beardser or something, and it's only for men who have beards and women who want to meet up with bearded guys.
Oh, that's crazy.
Very
stuff.
specific niche there.
Yes, yeah, but you know, like it just reminds you. Remember, for the older listeners, the sons and daughters. When that first started, that was all about a missing brother and missing sister got together, thought they were boyfriend girlfriend, and then parents have realised that no, they're actually brother and sister. So we're quick. We better go to the motel and break it up before anything serious happens. So anyway, remember that show, Sons and Daughters?
How embarrassment. I'd
Yes.
heard of the show. I haven't watched it though.
Oh no, you won't watch it now. It's probably long gone. I think it started in about 77 or something. Yeah, it was Ali Fowler was in it. I think she was the girl.
Okay.
I think so. Anyway, that's about it from me, and I think that was about it from Jace. Is this true,
Good
Jace?
for me.
All right, good stuff. So
That's it for me.
That'll be it for us this week. So don't forget to go to the show notes at aussietechheads.com.au. Navigate through to the show notes if you want to see what stories we've spoken about and you want to link through to the actual story and read more about it. You may do so if you wish. You can find that link in the show notes. You grab us on iTunes in the podcast directory. You can grab us just about wherever podcatchers are these days. So I think we're on about all of them. We seem to just
Whatever those kids are using these days.
That's right. We just seem to jump on them somehow. And also, don't forget the Aussie Mac Zone. And especially next week, look, the Aussie Mac Zone guys will be talking about the Apple Watch. They will have it. And so we'll hear firsthand about that. And look, I might try and get one of them on the show next week to give us a bit of a rundown on their experience with the Apple Watch. That might be something interesting to hear. All right. So until then, thanks for coming in, Jace. Good to see you again.
Yeah, keep an eye out for the Obsidian Loft Minecraft podcast and the Old Fart Geeks.
Will do. And they
No, Will won't, but
I can't believe Will's going to Linux. Oh my God, he's not going to last.
grasping at straws, right?
Yeah, he won't last on Linux because what he wants to do. How's he going to video capture? What software is he going to use? How's he going to say a Photoshop? Like he's going to use what was it called? I know there's alternatives, but they're not that good. GIMP, that's the right one. That's the one. Oh, Gimpy. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. All right. If you want to join us in the lounge live, it's Thursdays at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and do so at aussietechheads.com.au/live. All right. That's it for us this week. It's been a pretty full show there tonight. Lots of stories this week, so that's excellent. All right. So until next week, it's goodbye from Jace and myself. Bye bye for now. Ta-da.
See you later.